talking. Like, they were living together. All of the stuff that transpired, I was the other woman. I don't want to say the side chick because we were in a relationship, but I was definitely not like, you know, the main. I was not giving main course. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I am back with another story time. This story time is going to be about Jody. So Jody is my ex and my son's father, and if you haven't seen he got the side chick pregnant, then definitely go check out that video. So this story time is going to be about me being the side chick. Okay, y'all gotta hear me out, okay? Hear me out, y'all. Jody and I met on Facebook. He had reached out to me. You know how I go. If y'all are on social media, which I mean, YouTube is social media, so y'all are probably on social media. But he hit me up in my inbox. You know, the whole little hoorah, liking pictures and all of that. So we ended up, and this was on, it was not on Facebook, I am lying, it was on Instagram. So that's kind of how we connected, and we started talking or whatever there. And then of course it moved on to exchanging numbers, and we were talking, right? So we would talk on the phone. Now, love bombing is really real. Like, the rush, the pursuit is so hot and heavy, and just really trying to just really get into it, that is a big red flag, okay? Because, sir, ma'am, take your time. Take it. What's the rush? What are we rushing? Why are we rushing here? Okay. So he had hit me up. Of course, we were talking like pretty much every day. He at the time worked in the oil field, so his schedule was different or whatever. So he would call me like every evening. We would talk, and then you know, he would have to, you know, go or whatever. It wasn't a big thing because, you know, at the beginning when you first talking to somebody, especially if you feeling them, hold on y'all, especially if you feeling them and like cool, the conversation is cool and all the things, then you don't really just be like studying a lot of stuff, because you don't really care for the person, like far as like if there's no emotional attachment. So you really don't, for me, I'm saying you, but this is just my thought process. I don't really be thinking about, like, I don't know, I just don't be like stuff I don't care about, because I don't have an emotional connection to you, emotional attachment to you. So my mind don't even be going in places that it goes once I have that emotional attachment. Anyway, okay, whatever. So he would always have to get off the phone, like kind of like around maybe like 6 or 7 in the evening, and then he would call me like early in the morning or later on in the evening. But the thing is this, right? Okay, yeah, so it was really odd. Like, he would always have to get off the phone like in the evening times. He would get off the phone, but mind you, when he's getting off the phone, it's not like he's like rushing me off the phone like, oh, I gotta go, like, you know what I'm saying? It was just very smooth, very like casual conversation, like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, start winding down for the evening. You know, I'll call you in the morning or text you, whatever. So it's not giving suspicious, okay? It's not giving suspicious at all, right? So I'm not thinking anything of it, because one, I'm not a big like sit up and talk on the phone all day type of chick. And texting is cool too, but really all of those forms of communication, I just be chilling to myself. I'm not a person that gotta, like, you know, unless you like my man, then I don't really get, like, I don't care. We ain't gotta talk like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we just like talking and getting to know each other, I got to really, really be feeling you to want to sit on the phone with you and just talk to you. Like, because, sir, is it textable? Can you text me? Just text me, because what the fuck? Like, it don't be that much to talk about. Anyway, so that was not like a red flag to me. I wasn't thinking anything of it. So boom, we end up continuing on with our relationship, or not our relationship. We end up continuing on talking, and then we eventually decide that we're going to get in a relationship. Now let me back up just a little bit, because he was very I don't want to say
Persistent.
forceful, but he was very like rushing the process, right?
Love
So,
bombing.
and I was just kind of going with the flow because I was, I was feeling him. I wasn't talking to nobody. Well, I think I actually was talking to this other dude, but it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I was feeling him. We were feeling each other. So I'm just like going with the flow. I'm thinking to myself like, dang, he must really like me. Like I must really just be something special because he just want to be with me so bad. Like he like
Love
we gonna be
bombing.
together. You mind? Da, 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 da. Mind you, we at this point we haven't had or nothing. Like nothing has even transpired, right? And he's saying all of this stuff. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So we end up, of course, kind of like hanging out. We met up because at the time I was staying in a small town that was probably about like 45 minutes from the city, right? 45 minutes to an hour from the city. So he stayed in the city. So we weren't close to each other at the time, right? So we would link up whenever I would come to the city or whatever and just hang out. One day I linked up with him and I was at my mom's house. So my mom stayed in the city at the time. So I was at my mom's house and he ended up coming. I was up there for the weekend. He ended up coming and get me one day and we just like rode around, chill, listen to music. We ended up stopping to get something to eat. I wasn't hungry though. Right? Did I? No, I didn't get nothing to eat. I wasn't hungry, but he ended up getting him something, but I was like, no, I'm good. From it's this place called City Bites. I don't know if City Bites is like national, worldwide, or if it's just where I'm from. But if you know, then you know. City Bites is like a sandwich shop. They have baked potatoes, salads, stuff like that, right? So what? My phone just said something, and I don't know what it means. I hope it don't mess me up. Like I hope I don't lose this footage, right? Okay, so let me hurry up and get to the story. So I'll get through the story. So that was our first like link up, whatever, and then we went on little dates and stuff after that and whatever, and so eventually we ended up making it official and being in a relationship. But mind you, I'm saying like eventually, but it wasn't that long. Like it was maybe like a month. I'm gonna say
Love
maybe a
bomb.
month, right? So but during that time this stuff is still going on. Like the whole like it was kind of like a routine, as far as when he would have to get off the phone in the evening, and then when I was talking to him the next day, so on and so forth. So fast forward to us being in a relationship for maybe about a year at this point, because mind you, we were together for a while and it was completely normal. And I think I mentioned that in the other relationship. I mean, another relationship in the other video, how like it wasn't signs of like cheating bullshit going on or anything like that. In hindsight, okay, yeah, but at the time I wasn't really thinking, right? So there came a time, like I said, maybe about a year into our relationship, where it may not even been a year, y'all. It might not even been a full
It
year.
was like 6 or 7 months,
But
y'all.
this girl, because I have other story times about her too. What did I call the other one? His baby mama. I can't remember what I called her. But you know what? I'm gonna just call her. No, I'm not gonna call her name because but just for short, I'm gonna call her. Ooh, I feel like I don't know what to call her.
3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna call her Net. And I'm gonna call her Net because that is a part of her last name. Okay. So Net ended up like reaching out and tripping with him. Okay. So she was tripping with him. Now mind you, he told me like Net is his ex-girlfriend, right? Now he told me that, whenever everything started happening, like he was forthcoming, like, well, he wasn't really forthcoming, but he wasn't trying to like be like, oh, I don't know who that is type shit. But the girl started tripping, and that's why he really couldn't, right? So the girl started tripping with him, They was getting into it, and she was like threatening him, threatening to get like her people on him, and threatening to break his stuff and stuff like that. Now, why, you ask? Why, you ask, does she have possession of his stuff? So he told me that when they were together, that they, lived together, and he still had some of his stuff over there from, when they stayed together. So yeah, she was mad. This is what he's telling me. She's just mad because she found out that, I moved on and we together, and they was together for a long time. I want to say, he said maybe like since they were like teenagers and shit. So they had been together for a long time before him and I got together, right? So I don't know, let's say they were together like 8, 9, 10 years, okay? Something like that. They've been together for a long time, dealing with each other for a long time. So to me it made sense, because it's like, okay, if you were with this man for, most of your adult life, or all of your adult life, or whatever, and then y'all go y'all separate ways, and you find out that he's with somebody else, I can see why you would be upset, like, and if he did still have stuff at your place, then I could see, it wasn't really, in hindsight, okay, big red flag. But at the time, it was making sense, y'all. I was believing it. I was eating it up. Like, okay, that ain't my business. Yeah, that's wild, because I wouldn't give a damn. Listen, one thing about me in relationships, once the relationship is over, and I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't be giving a fuck. Like, even if I left some stuff at an ex's place or something like that, and we're done, I don't give a fuck about that stuff. Like, you can do whatever you want to do with it. Throw it away, burn it up, sell it, eat it. I don't give a fuck what you do. Give it to the next chick. That's not none of my concern, because I don't care. Like, I really don't be giving a fuck. So, but I still be cool too. Like, we don't have to be like enemies or anything, but I don't give a fuck about you like that. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck. Like, you cool over there though. Over there from a distance, nigga. So boom. So it was a whole little like situation that was going on, because I guess with the threats, apparently like her people, her family or whatever, were supposed to be like, some super thugs or something, to that nature or whatever. So whenever he's he's telling me what she's saying and all of this, he like, and he ain't no punk, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it was just a whole deal, whole fiasco, whole little dramatic situation. Like, of course, a nigga that is not, I mean, I ain't gonna just say he was no hardcore street nigga, but he wasn't no punk. And so any man, typically, if you've been somebody threatening like your life or your safety or some shit like that, and it's gonna be some type of response, like, fuck them, whatever, okay? So that whole thing happened. Now, mind you, at this point, this young lady, Nat, had never said anything to me. We never had no contact, right? So, but it gets ugly, okay? Because she definitely contacted me, and she definitely was fucking with me. But at the time, I had gotten a friend request, like in this period when all of this was going on, or maybe right before or right after, I got a friend request from this girl. And this is before I was doing like business and stuff. So you sending me a random friend request, I'm not really I like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know you. I wasn't one of them people on social media that I just had a whole bunch of friends. I was accepting everybody. Like, my page wasn't for a show. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't on social media for that. But I mean, I was on social media to keep in contact with my people. But my people, I didn't just want like a lot of random people on my page. So when she sent me the friend request, I was like trying to look or whatever. Now, mind you, at this point, I knew the girl's name. Like, I didn't know her, like, or anything like that, but he had kind of told me. And then, of course, you do your little investigations and all of that. So I knew who she was. So when this chick sent me this friend request, I'm like looking, trying to see who, like, how do you know me? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking through stuff, and she is friends with net, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, they on some bullshit or whatever. Now, you know how Facebook is. If somebody isn't your friend and they send you a message, you're not gonna get like an alert for it. It'll be like in your message request or something like that. However, yeah. So, um, so again, we're like close to a year into our relationship at this point. So when all of this is transpiring, right? So, I just thought, you know, how girls are, you know, she just trying to be nosy. My page was not public at this time, so she just trying to be nosy and see what she could see, whatever. I didn't mind. I didn't pay no mind for real. So now that situation passed. It happened. It passed. The girl, Net's friend sent me the friend request. That passed. Moving on. I did not accept the girl's friend request. Okay, I never accepted her friend request. That request is still sitting in my request, my friend request to this day on Facebook. So yeah. So moving forward, all of this stuff happens where I start to find out. At this point, I'm pregnant, so this is maybe like another year has passed. So we like 2 years, close to 2 years into our relationship. And I'm pregnant and whatever. Okay, so all of this stuff happened with. I want to say I called that girl delusional or crazy. I don't know what I call her, but I cannot remember. And I don't feel like going back into the other video to remember her name. But his baby mama, the one from, he got the side chick pregnant. Okay, y'all. Sorry if my like my angle and stuff is a little different. I'm not sure, but I had to delete some videos because I ran out of storage. So anyway, I can't remember exactly where I was at, and I don't want to go back, but I know I was just about to get to the brink of like me putting everything together, like my aha moment, right? So she had reached out to me, and she was really reaching out to me to be like mean about some stuff that was going on, but that's a whole nother story time, so I don't want to get into that. These girls, when I tell you, this man, this nigga, Jody, had these girls so mad at me. These girls hated me, like, and some of them still do not like me to this day because of that nigga. Like, and I didn't even know, like, I didn't know any of this, right? But okay, so she had reached out to me, and like, you know, she was like saying her piece or whatever, and but they were playing like it was her and her homegirl, and they were really being mean, and they were playing games. Y'all, I was pregnant, and one thing about me, I'm sorry, like I don't like the bullshit for like and I know that this is probably very, it's immature, and it's not the proper way to handle things, but I don't like going back and I'm not going back and forth with no woman. I'm not gonna be doing, like, I'll be ready to fight. That's just that's my solution, and I know I'm grown past that now in my life because I'm not fighting nothing, you know what I'm saying? But then, like, my only resolve to issues was to fight. Like, girl, you calling me and you like harassing me, you being mean to me for what? Like, I don't want you to continue to hurt my feelings. So, bitch, I'm gonna beat you up. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Leave me. Don't fuck with me. I don't like being fucked with. That is, like, just leave me alone. Because I don't bother nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't bother nobody. I don't be on bullshit. I'm not messy. I don't do drama. None of the things. So when that shit comes to me and people be on there, I be ready to box. So, but I know that is not proper. That's not how you handle stuff. You know, you got to be better than that, bigger than that. Like, let people do what they do and just don't allow them in your space and don't allow them to affect you. But anyway, back then, that was my solution. Like, the harassing and stuff. Like, I'm like, girl, like, you don't have to be mean to me about this. If you're gonna come to me as a woman, like, you know what I'm saying? They come to me as a woman, and we can have a conversation. If you want to let me know something or something's on your mind, cool. But to be fucking with me and being mean, no ma'am. But in the midst of all of that whole little drama is going on. But in my mind, I'm putting shit together. Like, I'm looking, she's sending me stuff. I'm looking at like the dates on stuff. I'm looking at, and I'm reflecting back. And I'm like, nigga, this nigga Jody was he was with that girl when we started talking. Like, they were living together. All of the stuff that transpired with her, like, gonna tear stuff up and, you know, whatever, put his stuff out, whatever, she was like, you know, trying to destroy his property. That's because he had quit fucking with her and started fucking with me, right? And we doing unbeknownst to me, right? I'm oblivious to all of this because it wasn't given. Like, it, if I call, like, he answered the phone, you know, like, if texting, he respond. Like, it was nothing that was given, like, this nigga's in a relationship. But apparently, the facts is the facts, okay? So, when we very first started talking, he was in a relationship. I'm guessing around the time that we decided, okay, like, or he decided for us, because he pretty much, we was together because he said we was together. And I mean, I'm not gonna say like I was like fighting it. I just went along with it, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, boom, we're like together or whatever, and we really like locked in. So I'm assuming around that time he decided that he was gonna leave her. Like, and I'm not sure if it was before or after she found out who I was, but she never reached out to me. Like, she never, the only thing that transpired in terms of like trying to see who I am is the friend request that her friend sent me on social media. And then there was a message in my inbox. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can find it. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it really wasn't it still wasn't given, like, it wasn't a message that was like, hey, are you dealing with him? Because I'm dealing with him. It was from her homegirl, and it was some childish shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. And mind you, all of these people are older than me. So that is age. I know age don't have nothing to do with maturity and shit, but girl, like, you're being very childish about the situation. Like, if you and this man, and I don't know, you know, for sure, maybe they were actually like broken up or at the end of their relationship and they were just still living together, but they were for sure living together. And if they weren't together at that time, then it was just that it was fresh. Okay, so either way, I would, if I had known what was going on, I wouldn't have been a part of that at all. But it's crazy how stuff didn't come out until years later, right? But the kicker about all of this shit is, once I'm putting it together and stuff, like, she was still dealing with him, like, on and off. Like, so even though she knew that he left the relationship to be with me, we were together doing our thing. We ended up, you know, moving together, all of that stuff. Like, even though she knew all of that, she was still like allow him to come and screw her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, which is crazy to me, because it's just, there's just no way. And for me personally, I can't speak for nobody else. I can't speak for all women. I'm only speaking for myself. If a nigga leave me, if I leave a nigga, if me and a man are no longer together, ain't no, you're not finna come and get you none. Like, I'm not finna, like, that's not what we doing. Like, I'm not. And I couldn't imagine, like, a man leaving me for another woman, me knowing this, right? And still allowing this man to have access to me. Like, so I guess after, you know, whatever transpired with them, where she, I'm assuming found out about me and, you know, was gonna tear his stuff up and whatever. Me and him weren't living together at that time, so I don't know if they were actually physically still living together. She found out about me and she was like, nigga, you gotta get your shit the fuck up out of here, or I'm finna tear this shit up. Or, you know what I'm saying? This shit is gonna be destroyed. Either you come get it or it's done. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was the case. And so by default, we just kind of got more locked in, or if he had told her like, yo, I'm not fucking with you no more. You know, but I mean, it could go either way, but I'm looking at it like, she found out, right? This is just my own assumption. I know for a fact that they were still living together when him and I were talking. Like, when I was talking to him, he was in their house. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we were on the phone, when we first started talking, like, he's at their home. You know, that's so fucked up. Niggas be that shit. People, I ain't gonna say niggas. People be so trifling. Like, that's why, like, for what? Why are you doing it? If you know you don't want to be with this girl and y'all are living together, then move around. Like, but, or if you just fucking around, because he never handled me. And I don't know, it might just be part of the game. I don't know. I don't like games and shit, all of the bullshit, okay? But it might just be part of the game, right? He just cause he never came at me on no fuck shit. Like everything seemed genuine and like a genuine interest in me, not just like physical shit. Because like I said, we didn't have sex for right away, which I know that can be. I've learned, girl. I've learned some things that can be a manipulation too. You know what I mean? But it was never no pressure like rushing to for sex or none of that. Like none of that even transpired until after we were together. Like we were in a relationship in my mind, okay, from what he telling me. But I mean, and we could have been in a relationship, but I think he was still in a relationship with her. I don't think that they were not together, but they were just living together, or he had just told her. Like, no. How I think that shit played out is she maybe like went through his phone or social media or something, found out about me, right? Confronting him like, nigga, you got me messed up. You're not gonna be doing this. Da 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 da. You gonna have to get your shit and get the fuck out. And that's when the big, explosion took place where they got into it. But mind you, at that time, me and him had already been together for almost a year. We had been together for a while. So, yeah, I was definitely, I was the other woman. I don't want to say the side chick because we were in a relationship, but I was definitely not like, the main. I was not giving main course. I was giving fucking goddamn green beans and motherfucking mashed potatoes. Like, I was not the steak, bitch. I was not the motherfucking steak. I was not the salmon. I was not the chicken. Like, I was not the turkey. I was a motherfucking side dish, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we love mac and cheese, okay? We love mashed potatoes, green beans, collard greens, yams, sweet potatoes, all of the things, okay? But I definitely was not like the only woman that he was dealing with, and it wasn't like he was dealing with me and then started dealing with other people. Like, he was already in a full-blown relationship living with this woman, and me and him were in a full-blown relationship. We weren't living together though, not yet, not at this time. So yeah, you see why, that shit plays on your mental so bad. Because imagine, y'all, on a serious note, imagine being with somebody for an extended period of time and then finding out that they have a whole nother life, or they are a whole nother person. They have a whole nother personality, a whole nother agenda. Like, they doing all of this other shit behind your back, but you don't see that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But in retrospect, there are little things. Like I said, when him and that girl got into it, the way he's spitting it to me is that it's an ex, that he still has some stuff, and she was, just upset because she found out he, moved on or whatever. And in hindsight, it's like, no, nigga, that don't sound right. But in the moment, it's like, okay, that makes sense. That's plausible. Like, women do get upset. We're emotional creatures by nature, and if you are really in love with somebody and you've been with somebody for a long time and then they just move on and you find out, oh, they in this relationship with this girl now, of course you will be kind of in your feelings, and everybody reacts differently, when they are upset or they are, bruised emotionally or whatever. So anyway, yeah, y'all, that is the story about the time that I was the side chick. If y'all enjoyed this story, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, say anything in the comments. Just holla at your girl, subscribe, all the things that the YouTubers say. Turn on your post notifications and all of that. But yeah, peace, love, and lights. Y'all have a good one. Bye. Okay, let me get my something, girl. Make sure these titties right, because these titties just be doing what they want to do. These titties got a mind of their own, okay? They're my titties, but they titties too. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. I want to put my little warm coat. So y'all, Jody and I met on social media on Facebook, okay? So he had like, reached out to me or whatever. Hold on, let me get this together because I'm gonna have to cut this out because girl, anybody got time to keep trying to. I should have picked a different shirt. Okay. I should have picked a different shirt. Okay. So, I am not filling. Okay. Okay. Okay, y'all. Hey, you guys. Let me see what it's given.